So silver is absolutely crashing. It's getting demolished right now after another new all-time high, a nice gap up, and a lot of people are wondering why this is happening when Shanghai is hitting, randomly $100 and all of that, right? So why is silver crashing? Why did it go down over 12% in just a matter of a few hours and then also drag the broader metals markets down with it? I'm going to tell you exactly why that happened and exactly how you could have predicted this other than just by, watching my channel. But if you aren't familiar with who I am, my name is Drew Wolfer. I am a verified pro trader over at Verified Investing, and I have a 91.5% documented and live tracked win rate that you can track anytime that you want on my website and their website in just metals in just 2025 alone, these exact assets. So I've been calling the tops and bottoms of these things for quite a while. I've actually been talking about this for about 2 weeks, giving all of the different resistances and supports and things of that sort. But there's a lot of other things in the background other than the technicals that made this happen, okay? And I've been talking about those things inside of NORDIC Alpha, which is my private VIP trading room community where I give people all of that high level analysis and kind of let that 91.5% win rate work for them. So if you want that type of high level analysis, I do encourage you to get into NORDIC Alpha. It's literally $29 a month. It's less than $1 a day right now. It'll probably go up into 2026. And with that being said, let's talk about what's going on with silver right now. So there's a couple of narratives out there that I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to shoot them to, oblivion, but you can make your own inferences from here. So one of those is that Shanghai is, pumping the price. So then America and, the COMEX, right, and London, which is LBMA, need to catch up with that. That is not true, and that is not a fact. And who would have thought, let's be real, let's call it what it is, who would have thought that a communist nation that literally controls their people and their citizens, so much so that if you get a jaywalking ticket, they will debit money directly out of your bank account. Who would have thought that a country like that would manipulate the price of silver up? Well, I did. And that's why I didn't buy into that narrative. A second narrative that a lot of people were buying into that is also not necessarily what you think it is, and I'm going to show you that with, verifiable facts here in just a second. The supply shortage. Okay? So there's two reasons why I don't think the supply shortage, this is just my opinion, right? And, I've been, again, I'll show you, we've been talking about this for 2 weeks, okay? We've been talking about this for 2 weeks. Gold and silver could crash. Here's why, 2 weeks ago, right? The top on gold and silver's in, my gold prediction, where gold stops, where silver stops. Silver could crash, silver about to crash, gold could crash, right? Gold rolls over, silver top, right? And then yesterday, I think it was like 2 days ago, I basically, said, hey, these prices should scare you, right? And I actually give these trades out inside of NORDIC Alpha in the private VIP, and we actually killed it on the, on a trade that we just, did, I believe it was yesterday I gave out this trade. It was on Saturday where we actually longed to the top. So I'm not just saying like silver's going down. Like in my own community, if you go and check my win rate, the last 2 trades that we gave out on silver were longs, right? And we just closed those out. And I actually have to load this so that you can see it. But if we come right down here, you'll see the last 2 trades, and I got to turn this video off. Last 2 trades we gave out on silver were actually 3, 4, 5. The last 5 trades we gave out on silver were longs, right? We longed the top at $76, man. And this is all, again, live tracked and documented. So in any case, just kind of want you to know that I'm not just pulling things out of, thin air here. We have been talking about this for a while. Now, the one thing I want people to understand is that supply shortage is not what you think. A lot of people are saying, oh, the supply shortage is massive. Well, then if that was the case, then why would there only be 2% of the physical silver leaving COMEX in December? There was about 500 million ounces in COMEX in December beginning. Now there's about 450 million. It's only 2%. Right? Do the math on that. It's actually about 413 million ounces, I believe, is something like that. So only 2% of the COMEX actually left, right? That's not a lot, right? If you go and check, and I know my numbers were a little bit off where I said, 500 million and now there's 400 million. Obviously that's 10%, but if you go and you look at the numbers that are reported and transparent, and you divide what has left by what it started with, it is 2% that left, okay? Now, did London's inventories go down 75% in 2025? Yes. Now, why did silver run? Okay? That's what a lot of people are wanting to know. Like, why did it run then if this supply shortage is not a thing, if the big businesses aren't buying more silver so that they can put it into AI infrastructure, solar panels, data centers for the graphics cards that have to run those data centers and stuff like that. If that's the case, then why did that happen, right? Why did silver run? Well, I'll tell you why it ran. It's because gold hit a massive leg up, and then when gold double topped, silver started to really run. Once it got above the $35 range, because silver stayed relatively flat for the most part while gold was running, right? Then once it got up above that $35 range, gold started going up, and silver actually hit $50 before gold double topped at or hit its old all-time high at $4,400, and that gave silver the ability to continue upwards, okay? Because that $50 mark was like the previous all-time high, was the ultimate resistance, okay? Now, if there was a supply crunch, I will let you do the math on this, okay? If there was a supply crunch, then if silver is at, let's go to the spot chart, $72.20 right now, okay? $72.20. Let's do some quick math. Go to Kitco, try to buy an ounce of silver. As it sits right now, silver is selling at 1 ounce is $79.35. So 79.35 minus 72.20 equals $7.15. Divide that by the $72 price point, right? And you are seeing a 10% markup on silver to buy silver, okay? Now, that doesn't tell you much, right? But what happens to the people that are trying to sell their silver? Well, as you can see, they're only getting $66 an ounce right now. And honestly, we can probably refresh this and see, what's actually happening. So $66 an ounce. Now, let me show you some other things, right? Look at these Australian kangaroos. One ounce kangaroo. Watch this. $61. So the price of silver, as it sits right now, is $72.20. They're giving you $61. So divide that by the 72.20, you are getting 15% less than your silver is worth, okay? So if there was a true supply crunch in silver, would they be offering $61 an ounce, a 15.5% less than what it is worth to try to bring silver in? My bias is that if you have a silver supply crunch and you need silver, you're going to pay what they're paying on gold. So what's gold at right now, right? Gold is at $43.32. So let's see what gold is, what you can buy gold for. $44.60. So $44.60, right? Minus $43.32 divided by $43.32. Gold is going, you can buy it for a 3% premium right now, but what about selling it? Well, if you sell that same bar, you're getting $42.21. So again, $43.32 minus $42.21 equals $111 divided by $43.32. You are getting 2.5% less than what your gold is worth, but you're getting 15.5% less of what your silver is worth. So my point is, if there was a supply crunch, do you really think the guys that are selling the gold and silver, Do you think they would be giving you 15.5% less of what the silver is worth if they really needed the silver that bad? No, they wouldn't. They would do exactly what they're doing with gold. Because why? Because they need the gold. And they're like, we can't give people 15, 20% less. It does not incentivize them to sell it to us. Now, why are they doing that? Here's the thing. They know that gold isn't going to go down by 20% in a day, right? But they also know that silver has the ability to go down by 20% in a day. So that is telling you that the smartest people in the world, right? The banks, the institutions, and the people that are selling you your physical gold and silver are telling you that the downside risk at that $82 price point was so ridiculous that they are indeed not going to buy your silver from you at a premium. They are pricing in that drop. They are pricing that into their buys. So just understand that and know that. And again, if you want to have all of these kind of like insights and bias all the time, get inside of Nordic Alpha, because I promise you, I called all of this stuff out a very, very long time ago. Over the past 2 weeks, I've been calling this out, and I can literally show you why this thing rejected up here, not only from the fundamental perspective, because I think I did a pretty good job, and you can tell me in the comments section of telling you why I think that was going to reject, or why it was, going to go down. But as you can see from my proprietary deviation zone, from this top to this bottom, right? The top to the bottom, the previous all-time high back in, 2011, right, to the subsequent low that came after that, we just literally rejected straight from my secondary proprietary deviation zone, right? And this is something I told everybody inside of our group. And then if you go and you look right here at the $70 range to the all-time high, which was this last leg up right here, right? The last leg up that we had. You can see that we came right outside of the proprietary deviation zone, wicked outside of it on the one-day chart, and then rejected from it and came right back down into the range, right? And the other thing that you can look at is this parallel, okay? If you look, we rejected from the secondary deviation zone on my parallel as well, and we can go to the monthly chart and I'll show you exactly how that played out. But it's this parallel right here. This is my first deviation zone. This is my second deviation zone. Immediate and subsequent rejection, massive fall, massive fall. So where could we be going from here? Well, you got to get into Nordic Alpha to try to understand that, but $57 is your first, it's going to be your really, really high level of support. Obviously, you have support at 70 bucks. Then you have your $66 range. You have 60, you have 57, you have 54, and then it's all the way down to 51 to 52 bucks. So if you want those types of analysis and insights, get inside of Nordic Alpha. It is the least expensive it will ever be. And, hopefully this was helpful to you. I've been talking about this over the past couple of weeks. I tried to, kind of like put it all into one video. So if that was helpful to you, let me know in the comments section. I'd love to see you in Nordic Alpha. Give me a like, give me a subscribe, and then boom, baby, bang on that notification bell so you don't ever miss this type of analysis ever again. And I appreciate you so much. Have a wonderful holiday coming up for New Year's, and everybody, I will see you soon.